Hello, hello, hello. Melissa Pang here, aka The Curly Executive, and we are here for our first Mindset Monday of 2019. This is my little dance. I am so excited, y'all. This has been a year and a half almost in the making. So moving here, truly launching Curly, getting to this place where I can give you regular, weekly, free content. We are here. And so before I continue, I'm going to ask that you subscribe. So hit that subscribe button right now. Subscribe to me so that candidly YouTube can start paying me and so that I can continue to give these out for free. I'm going to be doing this every week. We're going to do one Mindset Monday and one weekly one-on-one. If you don't know my one-on-ones, we're going to get hardcore into a marketing topic. Several of you who are already subscribing, and thank you so much, have seen me live. I'm going to bring that same live content to this medium, to YouTube. And so I can't wait to share, learn, and grow with you. So with that, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you've got one more chance. I'm going to tell you about one more thing that's going on because it's a great free resource for you. I posted my cash money questions online. If you don't know what cash money questions is, it is my top 10 or so questions. Actually, it's 15 questions to help you get to your perfect marketing strategy. It's about the P's and C's of marketing. If you answer these questions, you will be well on your way to an amazing marketing strategy. In addition, you've got 10 things that you can do today. It is a free download on my website. But the other reason I'm bringing it up is so that you know that the cash money questions are live. I posted videos from my European vacation. I talked about pretty much almost each one of the questions. There might be one little one missing, but it's an easy one, I promise. And those are all available on YouTube now. I'm making up for being a little behind on getting Mindset Monday going. So those videos are there. There are over 10 videos posted right now. Subscribe, go watch them. Watch me all day. And with that, we are gonna kick off Mindset Monday. For Mindset Monday, if you checked out my last Mindset Monday, it was about patience. And as we continue to do these, I want us to talk about things like patience, willpower, the skills that we need to build, to work on and hone to be effective at what we're trying to do. And if you ask, well, what are we trying to do, Melissa? We are trying to build lives where we enjoy what we're doing every day. That is the goal. It's not necessarily about making money. It's about setting ourselves up for success and being able to, yes, live and thrive and make enough money to do that, but also to not be crazy. So if you come to my channel, it's never going to be about like, we have to scale everything, grow everything, crunch everything. That's not what we're doing here. We're sitting down and saying, what is your passion? What are you into? What do you want to spend your time on? Like, what do you want to do every day with your day? Do you want to run around making flowers all day, which is something I do, something I frankly do right here behind me? Do you want to dance? Do you want to, help people with marketing? Like, these are all things I wanted to do, and that's what I spend my day doing. So we can figure out in this day and age of technology, of social media, of YouTube, you can truly do what you want to do, and we might have to tweak how you do it, right? And who you do it with, but you can do what you want to do. And frankly, you can decide like who you want to work with. So there's some trade-offs, but we are going to work on this together. We're going to get there. So the first question to getting there is, what do you want, right? What do you want? So today's Mindset Monday is all around, how do we figure out what we want, right? Where does that vision come from, right? How do we figure out what it is we want to do, how we want to spend our time, and where to start? So that's the plan today. We're going to talk about 3 different ways, some 3 questions you can ask yourself / exercises that I've done, frankly, in my past to get to where I am today, which is doing the things I want to do with my day. And so that is the topic for today. Now, if you're like, yo, Melissa, I already know what I want to do, that's great. Today's exercises and today's discussions could help you tweak that, refine that, maybe get into that a little bit more. In my day, I like to say that I do 90% of things I want to do, and there's only about 10% of things I don't want to do. And those 10% are really things like picking up my dog poop, some of the family responsibilities that I have to do. They're not actually work things. I spend my day making content, making flowers, dancing, meeting people and helping them with their business. Those are things I want to do. Today's gonna be a tongue twister type of day. I am tired, yo. I am working on a wholesale order right now. It's really fun. So bear with me, but I want to make sure we had our Mindset Monday today. So what do you want, right? The question, what do you want? Today's video will have some personal story time. You're gonna learn a little bit more about me and the businesses that I do, because I wanna explain to you how I got there, right? I have people who walk up to me all the time and say things like, you have so much vision. It's so wonderful. Like, you know what you want and you go for it. That's so awesome. I wish I was like that, or I wish I had more passions. If you had spoken to me 4 years ago before I started Camellias and Curls, I would have told you a couple things. I would have said that I'm not that creative. If you look at the room that I'm in right now, all these colors, everything that you see here, I painted it. I built it. So I don't know. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought I wasn't creative, right? I thought that I was not an ideas person. I was someone who's really good at supporting other people, but I wasn't someone who had ideas, right? I thought that, you know, hey, I'm not really the entrepreneur type. I'm probably more of that corporate type. I had a lot of different ideas. I put myself in a lot of boxes that I frankly didn't belong in. So know this is coming from a person who felt all those things. I also thought that because I had chosen a certain path, it meant that I needed to stay on it, at least for a while. That was the responsible thing to do. If you haven't checked out my other videos, my background, I did corporate marketing for about 10 years. I also graduated from MIT Sloan with an MBA with a focus of marketing. So again, you graduate from a top school, MIT, you bust your butt to get to MIT. You take out $120,000 in loans to pay for MIT on top of your undergrad loans, right? And then you get these awesome marketing jobs and you're working your way up. You get to director. You think, oh my God, I have to stay this course. Why? Well, duh, I've got $80,000 in loans. There's no path that works if I don't stay the course, right? These are a lot of things. I truly believe that in this day and age, these are not paths that we have to be on. When I went to MIT, there was no social media, right? There was no YouTube. There was no you watching me. There was YouTube, but it wasn't like this. There was no you watching me right now and me getting paid and you not paying a dime. Like, that didn't exist, right? So there's a whole new world, and there are literally people right now smashing. There's a girl, she's really cool. She smashes her face into bread and she gets paid for it. It is real. You can look it up. If people can smash their face into bread and get paid for it, you can get paid to do what you want to do. We've just got to figure out how to structure that. So that is the starting point for this. I need for the remainder of this video, the next 10 to 15 minutes, however long this takes, I'm a thorough person. We need to like take our minds and say, okay, cool. Whatever thoughts I have about me, let's just drop them just for this video so that we can talk about where we want to be and where we want to go and things that maybe you don't even know about yourself yet. So with that being said, me, right? I did this whole path and I netted out in corporate for quite some time. I got married. Things were all going well. I made it up to director of marketing, big companies, all that good stuff. And around 30, 31, 32, I'm giving my age away, I started feeling nostalgic for my 20s. I was like, I'm in my 30s and I'm thinking like, man, I miss my 20s. It was great. I used to travel. I used to do all these things I like to do. And I was thinking to myself, that's so wrong. My 40s is supposed to be when it's awesome, right? Like, I should have figured out my life, figured out my wardrobe, got my style. Like 40s should be amazing, and I'm here in my 30s being nostalgic for my 20s. And I thought, there is something wrong with this, very wrong with this, right? Where's that ambitious Melissa? And people externally would see me as being ambitious because I was climbing up the corporate ladder, but I didn't feel good. Like I felt like I was maybe losing my edge, that I wasn't as excited about what was coming next. And so one exercise, and this is the first exercise that I'll give you, is I sat down and thought about what were all those things that I wanted to do when I was younger. Like when you were a kid, when you were 18, 20, I don't know, 10, you know, what were the things you wanted to do that lit your fire, that you got excited about? What were those things? And like, write them down. I know people believe in vision boards, and I actually really do now, and I'll tell you why. But I cannot for the life of me cut out magazines and put them on a board. I have hosted and like moderated vision board sessions. I did a kick butt vision board session recently, but I am not the person that cuts out really pretty pictures and puts them on a board. However, I'm gonna back up and show you what I did do. This is my vision board. So it kind of tells you how I am. I'm very structured. And if you can see the top of this, it says, and again, I don't know how good this is gonna look, but I'll show you. It says Melissa's 7 careers. So Melissa's 7 careers. I sat down and wrote out the 7 things that I thought I wanted to do as a child. And I put them at the top, and it says marketer, chef, dancer, fashion designer, photographer, linguist, and musician. Okay, lots of things. And so I'm telling you, I'm reaching, like, here are all the things I wanted to do. And I put a couple different categories. I'll tell you them. This is totally freestyle. Do whatever you want to do. But my goal for exercise number 1 is just think about what you wanted to do when you were a child, before you had all these responsibilities, before you knew all the details, before you gave yourself limits. Like, what did you want to do? And so marketer, right? At some point in time, I definitely wanted to be in marketing because I chose to do that route. So that was the first one that I wrote about. And I put my way and a brand, because obviously I'm a marketer, I think in marketing. I wrote some milestones by 2020 and goals by 2022. So this is like a 5-year plan or something. And I put, it would be cool if. So this was like the totally impractical thing. This is gonna be a fun exercise because I haven't read this since I wrote this, y'all. And so what I realized after going through this, right? So marketer, chef, dancer, fashion designer, photographer, linguist, musician. Let's look at these, shall we? Marketer. I said, okay, cool. My way. I can't, corporate's not working for me, right? I want to have kids. I don't want to live in some of the cities that I would have like really good gainful and regular employment. I want to have like balance in my life. The further up I went, the more I found that it was really hard for me to find a company that just wanted a happy black girl in marketing who was about to pop out some babies and still wanted to like kill it at work, but maybe not necessarily be there every minute of the day, right? That just wasn't something that I was finding. And so my way was to do this, like create content, you know, share my marketing skill, do some consulting, right? As I worked it, I tweaked it. It's so totally different than what I wrote here. But again, it's just right now. How can I still do that? Chef. Obviously, I'm not gonna go to culinary school. When I made this, I legit looked up culinary school. I'm not gonna lie. But I said, you know what? I could totally become like a YouTube cooking queen and cookie maven. Apparently I wanted a cookie company back then. I wrote milestones by 2020. On this list, it literally says, I wanted to make Jamaican, Asian fusion cuisine. I'm Jamaican, of Jamaican descent. My husband's Asian as well. So again, random things. Dancer. I wrote that I wanted to become a dance hall freestyler. Fun fact, when I wrote this, I had aligned things to brands. I was like, well, I can't go to to school for being a chef, but I can make a vlog about it. I can make a blog about it. Dancer, I literally wrote, I can dance, I can vlog, I can shoot videos. Turns out right now, I have a dance company. Right now in Austin, Texas, I fly in dancers from LA and New York to teach dance hall. We have a dance studio in this house now. I think it's in part because I wrote it on here. I now have a dance studio and a dance company, and I fly in dancers, and I do freestyle. It's kind of crazy. Fashion designer. I put that I wanted to have my fashion accessories brand. So I do have Camellias and Curls. It's my hair flower brand. You can see a bunch of crowns behind me. I make these beautiful pieces. This is my beautiful card with all of the logos we're kind of inadvertently talking about. And one of them is Bouge Vibes, which hasn't launched yet, but it's coming soon. It's another fashion brand. So again, didn't 100% know where that was going, but it's here and it's happening. Photographer. I put one part of a photo duo and it says creative art director and visionary was what I was supposed to be. And what's funny is at the time that I wrote this, I had this brilliant photographer that I was working with all the time. Now it turns out that I'm working with my husband a lot, and we just actually released a couple of music videos, and we direct and create all the videos for Pon the Beats. And I got into photography with Camellias and Curls. So again, all this stuff is happening. This again was 3.5 years ago. So the things that are here now are coming into existence. I'm not gonna keep going because this video will last forever, but I do wanna show you that this exercise is useful both in giving you ideas about what are places that maybe I had an interest in, maybe I should start, maybe I should explore. So what are the things that I thought of that I wanted to do when I was younger, when I was freer, frankly. And then also like, let's map them out. Let's talk about them. So whether that's you cutting out drawings and putting them on a board, or whether you're thinking about, well, how could I do that now if I really wanted to pursue that? And what are some goals? And what are some crazy goals, you know? Like, so these are, this is exercise 1. This is a really great exercise. It's something I do with my clients. It works, believe me. And yeah, so that's step 1. Try that. Number 2. If you haven't watched my video yet on how I like to think about marketing, please do. It's all about being more human. And it goes along with this question, which is, what do you want to give? If I told you over the next 10 days, you had to give something every day to someone, and it couldn't necessarily be something you bought, right? You just had to give something. What would you give? And I could tell you, for me, I would give some hair flowers. Why? Because I love making flowers. It'd be fun for me, and it's something I can do. I have a skill in it. I would give marketing advice. I could help someone with their business, right? That's something that I could give to someone, right? I could give my mom a show. I could dance and sing for her. It would make her happy, right? So think about the things that you like to give, that you would be happy to give to someone else. Those could be talents or skills that you have. They could be things that you pay for, that you create. So just think of what you would want to give. The reason that I start with giving is giving gets you into that mindset of, well, who do you want to help? Who do you maybe want to work with, right? If you kind of know what you want to give, you can start asking yourself those questions, right? If everything you want to give is to women, like maybe I should be working with women. We're, again, trying to give ourselves thought starters to get to that vision, to get to that next step. So, you know, number 2, what do you want to give? Who do you want to help? Think through that, and that can kind of get you, again, some initial nuggets so that we can start saying, okay, where do we go with this? So now number 3. Number 3 is a fun one for me. What makes you jealous? Like, who do you admire? Who you spend your time admiring, watching time? Like, what do you do with your time? Who are you looking at? Who you paying a little too much attention to? I use this example because I could say for me, and sorry, my phone is going off. Like, I'm busy, y'all. Think you hit me up? Thank you. Let me turn this off. So who do you admire? You know, coming back to like, who do we admire? Who are we jealous of? Who are we maybe spending a little too much time thinking about? if you start thinking about those people that we're following online or paying attention to, reading things about, what are the things that they're doing that's interesting you, that's captivating you? What are you maybe seeing and saying, oh, I wish I could have that? That could give you some insights into what you should be doing, or maybe, what you should be spending on your time on. Me and the hubs, we watched YouTube so much before. All the time we'd be watching YouTube videos. And at some point in time, we're like, well, maybe we should be making YouTube videos. Maybe we should be doing the things in those YouTube videos. So maybe instead of watching these three guys go and taste a bunch of great barbecue, we should go and taste some barbecue ourselves, right? Maybe instead of watching people make review videos, we should make review videos. And it doesn't mean that you need to necessarily do YouTube if you watch a bunch of YouTubes. That just happened to be what it came out to be for us. I think these are all just clues for you to maybe dig in a little bit more. Anything that you kind of watch and you say, ooh, that looks nice, but I can't do that. I wish I could do that, but I just don't. Stop yourself there and backtrack a little bit and be like, why can't I? And then kind of take that back down a notch of hey, maybe I can't do that crazy awesome YouTube video right now with all those great special effects and all this extra stuff that they did. And, maybe I can't review the most expensive electronic products and yada, yada. But maybe you can do one with your iPhone or your, not iPhone, standard camera. There is a lot that we kind of make up in our mind, barriers, and we kind of forget about dumbing it down to the lowest possible version of it. You probably can do some of that. And if that can bring you just that tiny bit of joy, it's so worth it. I use that example because when I was considering doing this, a year and a half ago, I was considering doing this. I couldn't imagine aspiring to being on YouTube, any of the YouTuber, influencer, any that had to do with social media, I really thought was not for me. And part of that was that I had done that path. I had done that MBA. I had done the marketing thing. And I told myself that, if I invested that time, energy, money to get onto a certain path, to now be I just want to make YouTube videos and help a bunch of people with marketing online instead of, charging exorbitant amounts for marketing to companies or, only top people who could pay for that, right? To say that didn't feel acceptable, right? And it didn't feel like something I could aspire to given where I quote unquote had been. And I was so lucky. I talked to a good girlfriend of mine from business school, and she was like, I could totally see you doing that, Mélissa, right? And this was before it was as cool or as normalized, I think, as it is right now. And she's like, yeah, I could totally see you doing that. And that was so helpful for me. So stop getting in your own way when it comes to quote unquote all the things you can't do, and hopefully you're paying attention to these exercises and you can do all of them. But I think coming back to it, when we're looking at that third one, the goal is to really think about all the things that you spend your time on, right? The people that you watch, the things that you admire, the things that quote unquote make you maybe a little jealous or a little ooh, I wish I could do that, right? And say is there anything that's really stopping you, or is it just you that's stopping you? Because likely it's you that's stopping you, right? And maybe you can't do that at that level yet, but who knows? Maybe if you start, you'll get closer and closer there. Or maybe that little version that you can do will make you happy. So with that, those are the three things. So again, to repeat, number one, let's think about our childhood. Let's think about when we were younger, when we were a little freer, when we had maybe some responsibilities or less responsibilities than we had now, when maybe we didn't have kids. If you have kids now, what are those things that you were excited about doing? Put them on a pretty vision board or write them here or do a spreadsheet, whatever. So what are those things, right? So that's number one. What are the things that you wanted to do as a child when you were younger, when you were freer? Number two, what do you want to give? If you had to give, what would you give? Who would you help, right? And number three, who do you admire? What do you spend your time on? Who maybe makes you a little jealous, or excited, right? So these are the three things, and hopefully once you've done some of these exercises, you'll either be at that place you're like, ooh, this is something that I can do, right? Or we're kind of getting there, right? This is something maybe I should try. And I would also say that if you do this exercise and you're like, cool, I found some things, I'm still not sold, then maybe you just start something as a passion, as a hobby, right? We don't always have to force a business, and it doesn't always start as a business. My hair accessories thing did not start as business. It started as me trying to find some hair accessories that I could wear in my curly kinky hair, right? My dance business, it really started as me trying to get dancers here, and it's evolved. You'd be surprised as to how quickly something can evolve when you're excited about it and when you start on it, right? Sometimes actually the problem is stopping it and pulling it back. So let me know if you finish, or when you finish this video. If you're here, you've pretty much finished this video. Go and do this work, and then let me know if it was helpful, okay? Next steps, we always do next steps. I wanna make sure that you know what's next. I wanna make sure that I know what's next. Number one, do the exercises. Like, don't just watch this video, do them. Like, actually go and make your either pretty or not pretty like mine vision board. Write down what it is that you want to do as a child. Write it in a spreadsheet. Think about the things you'd want to give. Like, do the things that we just talked about for the last 20 minutes. Number two, once you have done them, think about how to then actually, now once you've written them down, like, and you figure it out and honed in on something maybe you want to try and you need to do it, like, get help or just do it, right? So if you can't do it on your own, get help. If you are having a hard time with this, get help. There are so many vision board parties, webinars, things like that you can sign up for. I also have webinars on my site for $25. I also do one-on-ones, 20 minutes for $20, 30 minutes for $30. They're called office hours. You can book them with me. We can talk about your vision. We can talk about the things that you do now, the things you maybe want to tweak. And the third piece is just don't quit. Don't quit. Keep it going. If this wasn't the Mindset Monday for you, that's okay. We'll have more, right? If you're still saying like, ooh, I'm trying to get inspired, but I just don't feel it yet, that's okay. If you have an idea and you're like, I need to pursue that, but it's going to take me some time, that is okay too. Do not put some crazy time restrictions on yourself to pursue anything or to make something happen. That's the silliest thing that we can do. Just keep moving forward and you will get there wherever there is. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this Mindset Monday. I am so excited that you guys came and spent your time with me, especially for those of you who made it to the end of this video. I am really grateful that you're sitting here watching this with me. Definitely subscribe if you have not already. Definitely check out the Cash Money questions and all the other great video content that we have up here. On Wednesday, we are going to be back here again for the one-on-one. It'll probably be posted late because I'm busy, y'all. But Wednesday night, it will be live. And we're going to be talking about path to purchase. And then we'll be back again on Monday to work on mindset because it's something that I am working on with you. I have taken these down from my wall. I'm going to go and play around with all of my past exercises and see where I am and do a check-in personally. If you found this useful, definitely comment and tell me because from my perspective, I'm just here talking to my camera and it would be great to talk to you. In addition, if you want me to talk about some other things that I've done, some maybe other vision tips that I've tried and questions I've answered for myself, thought starters, let me know and I will certainly include that. And definitely check out my webinar schedules because we're going to be doing some fun things. So that's a lot of stuff. I am excited. I am exhausted today. I've been busy in the office, but we got this done and we are here together and we are going to keep being here together. And I can't wait to work with you. Have a blessed day and I will see you on Wednesday.